There is some emotionality to this fucking show. Because, I mean, I totally get it. Live together, die together. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Space Battleship Yamato. We come back as we normally do with comments, notes, and a board. So let's go ahead and look at that board real quick. Where the only thing I've really added was that I connected Serizawa to the Yamato with a red line because he seems to be our, I don't know the word, friendly is the word here. Well, friendly in that he represents the same side as we're on, but he is the antagonist in the friendly side, right? He's made that quite clear. Other than that, though, no other board changes. So, going on to notes. I feel like I need to express something, having listened to the narrator talk about Kodai's mindset when he was visiting the underground bunker and people's fear of radiation. I keep harping on the show and how it treats radiation, which is to say, they seem to constantly open themselves up to exposure with no consequence. Despite also wanting to treat it like a boogeyman to be scared of, I think the thing I need to do is to take a step back and remember at the end of the day, this is a sci-fi series that uses pseudoscience in place of hard science, or maybe science that is beyond current understanding. So when they do something eminently stupid from my perspective, like opening a massive doorway into a heavily populated area from a completely irradiated outside, and don't express any form of danger in doing that, I should probably assume that something is going on which is normal for them to not be afraid of this, rather than constantly going off about how everyone's going to die. It's interesting to have one episode have Kodai talking to the captain of the Andromeda about how important it is to follow regulations as opposition to their confrontation in the approaching Earth situation. And then have Serizawa getting on Kodai about regulations in the very next episode as opposition to what Kodai is doing. I get this may be meant to read as a rules are important for different reasons sort of thing, but the order that they are presented them, the order that they have presented them in, I feel like kind of makes Kodai seem like a hypocrite. Dr. Sato's advice is equal parts prescient and stupid. Prescient because we know what happened in the movie, so his warning could easily be trying to subvert the shape of things to come. And it's stupid because he suggests she stay and prepare to be a happy bride. Except Kodai is going, so she couldn't be a happy bride without him there, nor would she be certain of his return. It just makes the most sense to have them both on the ship, like before. I appreciate that Todo is essentially being diplomatic, as well as buying the Yamato all the time it needs to get ready to go, but he's also telling Serizawa to persuade them, and all we do is cut away from the guy and go to other scenes. Serizawa does not seem in the slightest bit persuasive. I feel like we've done ourselves a real disservice by panning away from the guy. That has to be the worst persuasion we'd ever seen. I mean, I know Kodai would be ignoring this guy the entire time anyways, but just imagine what must be going on with this guy in an open comm to the ship over those 30 minutes. I get what Todo is saying about considering them deserters if they leave. Sorry, was it Todo or was it Serizawa? No, sorry, Todo was talking to Kodai. So yeah, Todo. And we all understand why Kodai and the crew are leaving. It's just, these guys saved the entire human race in what can only be considered a miracle. The scope of their deed is unprecedented outside of religion or mythology. To me, it's more surprising that they got sent out and reassigned to do normal jobs immediately after. This is the shit that should be I don't know. This is the shit they should be immortalized for. Since they've started building new ships like the Third Fleet Kodai was commanding, or even the Andromeda, I'd say that if you were Todo and they were pulling this stunt, to just offer them the Yamato. Give them the ship at the cost of, say, their commissions. They're the heroes of Earth. They can have their ship and do what they think needs to be done, so long as it doesn't conflict with the actual military of the Earth. There is no reason, at least at this point, to label them as enemies or anything of that like. Honestly, when the Yamato gets hit by the magnetic missile, I wouldn't have assumed it was the chief helping us out by them not going off. I would have assumed that they were holding on to be detonated later as a threat should we continue. Granted that we see them fall off later, but in that moment I would have thought, oh no, they're holding us hostage. The problem with the battle satellite is that they make it sound as though it existed a year ago when Gamlis was a threat, because they say it's to shoot down Gamlis landings or whatnot. And the thing is that Gamlis hasn't been around since we defeated them, right? And this thing wasn't there a year ago either. It didn't help the Yamato when it was being attacked on takeoff when Gamlis was in orbit. And why would they design this thing for an enemy that hasn't appeared in forever? Also, wouldn't it have why wouldn't it have shot down any of the massive meteor bombs that Gamlis sent back in the past either? Its existence just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I would say that if this was like Starship Troopers, right, and when Buenos Aires gets hit, right, and then after that they design the entire moon defense thing, which is that ring of, weaponry that shoots down incoming meteorites and asteroids and whatnot. That would be a thing, right? We went through this before, then we built these things. It's just they didn't introduce it like that, so it's weird. It's an oddity to me. And my last note, and yet another contradiction, despite all the importance put on following orders and the chain of command, Serizawa is just blatantly disregarding orders to his superior's face about letting the Yamato go. Worse yet, everyone in the room is just following those orders that contradict Toto, who is also in the room giving orders. Alright, I said we had a comment. We got Kellen Winslow from the episode Blast Off to the Unknown. You are right. There are a lot of new characters on the board. I expect it will be pretty big by the end of your Yamato reactions. Yes, the Earth government is pretty stupid, almost comically so, considering how bad things went for the Earth before. You would think after an experience like the entire planet would be united in making sure such a thing doesn't happen again. Yugi does get a bit more characterization here. It's still not amazing, but you are right that it's better than nothing. I'll let you decide if you like how the remake handles her, better or not. With all the people going against the military and boarding the Yamato, there's really nothing the government could do to stop them. There can't be many people left alive on Earth in the first case, especially after only a year or so, and they would need every military person they could get. So stopping the Yamato makes absolutely zero sense in any way. If there is a possibility of danger, you let them go and try to take care of it. It just feels like artificial conflict to create drama. It makes far more sense in 2202, but we'll get to that later. So far, the second season is better than the first, even if it's not as iconic. The original show is the build-up, and the second season adds some much-needed depth that was missing. It will be interesting to see how this changes over the movie as it goes on. And just to clarify my last comment you read, Theta, when I said that I'm looking forward to your reactions on Yamato for the next couple of years, I was talking about the YouTube side of things. You might actually go through everything of Yamato that has ever been made in less than a year, but with an episode a week on YouTube, it will take about 2 years to go through everything. That's probably the case. The element there is that I think me and Lessons finished Gundam Seed sometime in the middle of last year. That's still going on. Like, literally, as of the recording of this, me and Lessons just recorded a Gundam Evolve episode that we had discovered that existed for Seed. So we had to introduce that, like, hey, it's been a year since the last thing you possibly saw from us. But yeah, still going on YouTube. But that's the benefit of the forward scheduling on YouTube, is the element that we can finish a thing, start working on another thing, and there will always be another upload on YouTube at a specific date and time if you come here, versus trying to rush through and maybe have days where stuff doesn't get uploaded and stuff like that. So we try to look ahead to the future. I don't know that the Yamato could not have been stopped. Like, you're saying that they have boarded with so many people. They specifically said, now granted, they said this, they said this in the last episode. They said that they really didn't have enough people to run the ship, so it's not like they had the full complement. At the same time, I feel like they're just disregarding the effects of the last year. You're saying that the Earth couldn't have been repopulated and whatnot, but I don't think the show is thinking about that at all. As for Yuki, or not even the Yuki part, as for the second season is better so far than the first season, I don't know. 4 episodes in, we were still dealing with the situation on Earth, the people's families having to deal with the Yamato leaving. Like, we were still in the very serious part of just the introduction to what Yamato was going to be about by episode 4. So I think we're probably on comparable terms, because this is the same sort of thing. We're being introduced to how the world has changed after the fact. And not for nothing, Season 2 has kind of betrayed the conceit of the entire world being ruined, and that you have to have that buy-in for Season 2. And I guess, though, it does a better job of how emotional we are about what we've been through already. There's highs and lows. I say they're comparable. I wouldn't say that by right now, Season 2 is definitely better than where Season 1 was at the same time. I wouldn't say that. Anyway, that is it for the comments. That has been the notes and the board, so nothing left to do but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Alright, so just a heads up. I did my normal subtitle editing, but I do not remember offhand if I did it correctly, because I feel like it's peek behind the curtains. It's been a week since the last time I watched an episode. I have been trying my best to finish up Yatagarasu, so that I have the slot open for the new shows that are going to be coming out that I'm going to be reacting to on the weekly. But, yeah, also the element that I think I'm like 3 to 4 episodes away from finishing Yatagarasu, which, by the way, I know this probably has no Venn diagram of overlap of fans, but Yatagarasu is like the anime Game of Thrones. If you're not watching it, I really suggest you watch Yatagarasu. Even if not my reaction, watch it on your own. But again, trying to get that finished. Been failing, by the way. Just been losing time left and right. But as soon as that's done, I'm going to fill more of the schedule with Yatagarasu recordings. Sorry, Space Battleship Yamato recordings. So we'll catch up on that in the time between recording the weekly reactions I've got for the other shows coming up in the new season. That is the Milky Way. That is not the solar system. Okay, so we know where Tesseract is. I don't know what Procyon is. So isn't Sirius a different galaxy? Was that a star? No, it's a star. Also, that's not where the solar system is either. Unless it's supposed to be indicating off to the edge. The solar system is closer to the edge of the Milky Way. I mean, he's doing a shit job if it's taking him that long to get from one galaxy to the next. We're gonna fast forward that travel. Why'd they make that guy suddenly a human? I mean, I like this. I like having like a battle map of where people are. That's pretty cool.
レスラーの残存艦隊があった。宇宙の異変に気づいた宇宙戦艦ヤマトは地球防衛軍の阻止を振り切り今発進した。
I mean, I said they made him suddenly human. I guess technically Zordor's girlfriend, princess, daughter, wife. I don't remember what she's in this one versus the movie. Technically, she's human colored versus say blue or green alien colored.
推定では明日未明木星空域でヤマトと接触するものと思われます。戦闘衛星が爆発したんだ。
Again, we could just relieve this guy of duty, and Toto could just be the main guy again. Oh, is the thing here we're going to be scaring the people of Earth, and that's why Yamato was a threat?
言っちゃったんだね、大輔兄ちゃん。兄ちゃんはやっぱりヤマトが大事なんだね。
I guess he's getting some development over what he was last season. He's grown up a bit, though I think he's gotten thicker as a kid. What's the difference between an Earth kilometer and a space kilometer? Well, if this is like the movie, this is where the fighter squadrons soon come join. Sorry, I forget the name of the squadron, otherwise I'd be naming them off the top of my head. I've said many times before I love a good klaxon. Not that one. That's not a good klaxon. That's the Mega Man alert to let you know he's low on health. Ah, the Wing Wave. They're friendly. There we go. Black Tiger Squad. Forgot the name. To be fair, it matches the movie, so it's our expectation. But if they wanted to subvert it, what if these were just a bunch of randos with Kato and everything that tried to board the ship this way? More people to add to the board. Again, no one in the entire fucking show has hero warship. That's the most unbelievable aspect. Oh. On the side, he kind of looks like Kato's brother, who still has to be on Iskander, as far as I can tell. I do not foresee the situation in which that guy is going to become the captain of the Yamato. He looked fucking sick when he saw a cat. I guess it would suck to be on the ship with a cat allergy.
んぞ待てこら待て
So you're running pretty far for this joke that nobody can see you.
おい待ちたまえ
Here's hoping he doesn't do what he does in the movie. Who are you? Like faking, pretending he doesn't know who Yuki is.
古代佐藤先生
まあ一杯やらんかあ
君は誰だ
There we go, he did it again. Fucking stupid in the movie, he was fucking stupid now.
地球防衛軍科学局生活部森行
乗務員名簿に載っていないな
それは
古代ユキのことじゃったらわしが登録するの忘れたんじゃよ
体感してもらいますこんなことを許していては艦の規律が保てません
Which doesn't make sense either. She was here the first time.
見てみいやお前がちょろちょろするからじゃあのなとにかくこれはわしのミスじゃからな喧嘩はいかんぞ喧嘩は
何をするんだ
体感します
待てこんなところからどうやって地球へ帰るつもりなんだ
Why'd you fucking say it if there was no follow
体感
through?
しろと言ったのは古代君でしょ宇宙遊泳でも何でもして帰ります
命令だ隊員服を着ろ艦長代理として森行に旧任務を命じるバカだよ君は地球にいれば平和に暮らしていけるのに
To what?
こんな危険な旅
Wonder if you're ever gonna come back if you fucking died out here?
私もヤマトの仲間の一人よみんなが行くなら私も一緒に古代君のそばにいたかったのよ
See, there is some emotionality to this fucking show. Because, I mean, I totally get it.
古代君
Live together, die together. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever to expect her to stay on Earth and then have you wander off, especially when you're both fucking... Sorry, didn't mean to finish on the word fucking. When you're both military officers, but I realized she's not technically a military officer. I guess maybe she is. Maybe she got, like, field promoted, because otherwise she was just a nurse.
ありません航行速度は一定です
Not that I'm saying anything wrong with being a nurse, it just means that they're not both in the military, but now technically she is.
速度を上げろ小惑星帯に達する前にヤマトを捕捉する
I assume that the Andromeda is going to catch up to them at the point at which they're going to catch up with an enemy fleet, so that they're actually going to end up helping one another.
さてヤマトのトイレから地球にさよならと行くかあれはアンドロメダだ
I mean, if it was close enough to see that from that perspective, it's way too close to do anything about.
アンドロメダだってレーダーの盲点を突かれたぞ緊急事態発生総員配置につけ総員配置につけ
Some of those guys were just put into the scene for no reason. Dude ran forward, turned immediately to the spot, and turned and ran back at the camera.
左舷後方2000完全に食いつかれましたちくしょう気がつくのが遅かった
Legitimately, no reason you shouldn't have been able to see him.
ユキさん
森行旧任務につきま
It's
す
legitimately open space. It should be obvious anything approaching you from a distance.
乗っていたのかユキ
よろしく
アンドロメダから入電です何停戦せよこちら地球防衛艦隊機関アンドロメダヤマトに次ぐ停戦せよどうします答える必要はないチマアンドロメダを振り切れないか
まず無理だななんと言ったって向こうは最新鋭艦だ
Yeah, but we know it's like mostly automated.
そこへ潜り込もう
Legit, I'm assuming one of them hacked it beforehand or is going to hack it on the way. If they do fight it, I mean. If I'm wrong about the whole enemy fleet on the way.
この俺艦隊司令の命令を無視するとは。ヤマトは小惑星帯に逃げ込むつもりだ。速度を上げろ。見失うな。
Are we gonna do the asteroid armor thing again?
小惑星帯確認。前方 7.2 宇宙キロ。
ヤマトへ距離1800。
威嚇射撃をしますか。無駄だ。
I mean, I assume there's no point because they already know you're serious. So you'd have to basically determine that you're going to destroy them or not destroy them.
少々荒っぽく行くぞ。
艦長、ヤマトは全速力のまま小惑星帯をすり抜けていきます。
やるな。
See, I would expect the Andromeda to go over the top and just fire its wave motion guns through the asteroid field, clearing a path for itself.
ようそろ。
うわ、若いもんは無茶をしよるわい。
何をしてる。もっとスピードを上げろ。あ。
I just want to indicate, asteroid belts like this in sci-fi, not real. There's so much distance between asteroids and everything in the asteroid belt. You just possibly see one thing and then keep going.
小惑星帯を抜けてヤマトの前面に回り込むのだ。急げ。
アンドロメダの反応はありません。どうやら追跡を諦めたようです。見事なお手並みだったぜ。
Again, I'm anticipating it's going to be that what I said. A Common Empire fleet or whatever is going to get in front of them. Oh, maybe that's the thing. Andromeda's going to get in front of the Yamato, encounter that thing, fail against them, and then the Yamato's going to come up upon that. Kind of making it sound like it's the end of the episode, but we still got plenty of time left.
大型戦闘艦確認。
ビデオパネルチェンジ。
方位 NW30 距離 11.5 宇宙キロ。
くそ、やっぱり先回りしていたのか。
どうする。
Be a hell of a thing if the Andromeda was destroyed because of the Yamato.
真田さん、そんな話し合って通じる相手ですか。土方艦長は。
古代。やってみろよ。ダメでもともとだ。
I mean, maybe you're a better persuader than Sarazawa was.
古代、多くは言わん。戻れ。私がどういう男かは分かっているだろう。
Forgot you from last conversation.
土方艦長、艦長もあのメッセージはご存知でしょう。何か重大な事態がこの宇宙には起こりつつあるんです。
否定はせん。しかしヤマト一隻でどうしようというのだ。悪いことは言わん。戻れ。
Were you asleep for the last year?
もう一度だけ言う。戻れ。
お断りします。
やむをえん。どうしても行くというのなら実力を持って阻止する。
覚悟はできています。
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to kill the heroes of the earth.
みんなやろう。こうなったら我々も実力で突破するだけだ。
Like I said, I can't even think of any equivalency to what these people must be to the people of Earth, outside of, again, religion or mythology. Mythological figures that saved the entire Earth, or the human race.
艦長、ヤマトは一歩も引かない構えです。よかろう。戦闘用意。艦首反転180度。全訪問をヤマトに向けろ。
The joke's on you. Even if you hurt the Yamato, next episode it'll be fully repaired.
ヤマト包囲セット G タイプの003距離2万5000上下角プラス2度
アンドロメダ距離2万3000。
見ろ古代アンドロメダは徹底的に戦う構えだ1、2番砲塔射撃多い目標アンドロメダ
Again, this would be the time to have a Comet Empire fleet just show up.
1番砲塔発射準備完了2番砲塔発射準備完了
I would have to think neither of you wants to be the one that fires first.
1番副砲発射準備完了最終ミサイル発射準備完了
距離
Right now, it's just a game of chicken until one of them pulls the
こ
trigger.
れ以上突っ込んでいったら差し違えることになるぞ我々はメッセージの謎を突き止めるために飛び立ったんだそれを忘れるなヤマト突っ込んできます攻撃しますかいやまだだ
You can't be the first ones to fire on the Yamato. You gotta make the Yamato the aggressors.
7000。
And if they don't fire, then they're not the aggressors. Except for the fact that they destroyed the battle satellite thing. I thought that guy was going to be less gung-ho about firing. Because he seemed to look at the captain like, no, we can't do this. And now he's like, please fire.
撃たないのか土方さん
I was about to say how close it was coming. Its pontoon things should have tore into the Andromeda.
行かせてやれ起きたの子供たちだ
There you go. Just as I expected. It was a game of chicken. Neither of them wanted to fire. Except for that one guy, apparently.
これでよかったんだ真田さん
艦長代理アンドロメダから地球への発信を傍受しました
読め
我遭遇予定空間に達するもヤマトを確認し得ず
なんだってやるな土方艦長
さらに本艦へ入電です
Good luck.
機
Good
関
luck
の
message.
決闘と航海の安全を祈るアンドロメダ艦長土方龍
I guess it was a test to see how serious they were. How far they'd be willing to go. I guess maybe that guy could still become the captain of the Yamato at some point. It's a weird animated cell. It'd be great if right now is when the Common Empire showed up, as per all my previous things. They're all outside of the ship.
古代かあいつならやるだろう
He's a hard ass, but he understands. I'm cool with him again, it's fine. Five minutes too late, my guys.
放っておけそれより総攻撃の準備だ
ナスカ君報告を省いてしまうつもりかね
です
少なくともヤマトに関しては私に報告する義務があると思う
しかしデスラー総統あのような艦の一隻や二隻
Weird that they'd have to report if you were just watching
私
yourself.
はズオーダー大帝から任されているのだヤマトの処理
大きな顔をしおって構うことはない我々にはこの星を攻略して前線基地を築くという大切な任務
Shin Yamato just destroyed the satellite that's supposed to defend against this sort of thing.
ヤマトは行く。その行く手に何が立ちはだかっていようとも、ヤマトは行かなければならない。航海は今始まったばかりなのだ。
Again, it's the element that okay. So it looked like they were fighting some sort of space amoeba monster thing. No, what I was going to say is, now I can't remember. No, the element is that Dessler is heading off to Terrasect or Tesseract or whatever the hell the planet Teresa's on. So he's heading away. So how the hell did he know anything about what the Yamato was doing there? I guess it could be possible that somebody on the ship was sending intel to him. But then why would he be complaining that nobody was sending him information? It's just a weird addition. I'm glad to see Dessler again, because he's a return to the old, and I always have a thing about returning villains. I recently said this in a reaction we just did to Legend of Galactic Heroes, where the villain from Gaiden finally meets her end, and some episode, I'm not going to spoil when, some episode in the actual main series, it's like, oh, there goes our first villain, officially no longer amongst us anymore. Kind of sad. So, as much as of a problem Dessler turns out to be, the element that he is our first villain, or not, I mean, first major big boss, having him still around and interjecting every now and then, it's just cool. Like the element of Dr. Wily still technically being around in like the Mega Man X series. Just a cool little addition from time to time. Yeah, mostly, I guess I'm glad that we've moved on from the Serizawa, we gotta get the Yamato thing, to Captain of the Andromeda, essentially just testing them. Granted, it just seemed like a filler, not so much a time waster, because I appreciate what's implying between the actual Earth Defense Forces and the Yamato. Like, we know Toto is cool. Serizawa, not so much, but also he's not in charge. And then this guy is the guy who's actually out here who would be doing something, who is proving himself to be as cool as Toto is, essentially. I have to assume the next episode is actually going to be the Andromeda versus the Nazca's forces, because they're the ones that are left, and we know the Yamato is moving forwards, which I guess has to make this more of an ensemble piece? More of an ensemble piece than it was before, obviously, but I just mean the element that instead of focusing on one ship, we're at least going to be focusing on two ships, at least until the Andromeda gets destroyed, because if the movie's to be followed at any respect, I anticipate the Andromeda is going to be destroyed next episode. Or sometime along that period. Because it might be that when Yamato comes back, that they're going to find the destruction of the Andromeda. But at that point, I wouldn't know why Nazca and crew wouldn't have taken over the Earth if they had destroyed the Andromeda. Don't know. Anyway, that is my read on this episode. I guess that's basically it. It was just the one thing. Getting away from the Andromeda and then having our game of chicken. There was, I guess the Yuki thing was the most important bit, but I've already talked about that at length during the movie. And here, it got to me a little bit, because it's just the element of their connection, and I think I might just be a little bit lamenting what happened to them during the movie. So, I'm still hoping that that ending doesn't come to fruition, because I do believe there's still more of this era of Yamato before we reach the reboot after we're done with the series. Like, I know there's another movie, but I think there's a third season, too. And I wouldn't want Kodai and Yuki to be dead for the third season. Either way, as I said, I think those are my thoughts right now. Obviously, I will come back with more thoughts for the note section next time. So until then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?